This video will cover the installation of the front struts and springs on a 1982 through 1992 F-body. Start by getting the front of the car off the ground and then use jack stands to support the car. And then remove the brake caliper. Make sure that you do not hang the brake caliper from the brake line. Loosen the extremely tight strut knuckle bolts. And then loosen the ball joint castle nut, but do not remove it. Support the rear of the A-arm with your jack. Wrap some bungee cords around the stock spring to ensure that it doesn't fly out. Remove the outer tie rod, and then remove the sway bar end link. Remove the strut bolts, and then slowly and carefully lower the A-arm. Remove the spindle from the ball joint. If you haven't installed new ball joints, now is the time to do it. Remove the strut knuckle bolts. Remove the brake line bracket and then reinstall it on the new strut. Place anti-seize on the threads of the weight jack. I initially made a copper bushing to install these Koni struts in my solid strut mounts, and then after using them for one event, the real bushing showed up. I didn't really like the bushing that came with my strut, so I will be making a new one based on my quick sketch. The new bushing will cover the entire length of the solid mount and not just the first ½ inch. Reconnect the spindle to the ball joint and then torque the castle nut down. Insert the bolts into the new strut. I don't recommend using the factory bolts because they are torque to yield and extremely old by now. I suggest buying new ones. Snug the bolts down, but do not torque them yet. The flat end of the spring goes on the weight jack, and then the tailed end of the spring aligns with the second hole on the A-arm. Use the jack to slowly raise the strut into the strut mount. Tighten the strut nut, and then torque the strut knuckle bolts to 150 pound-feet. Install the outer tie rod. Reinstall the brake caliper and torque the pins down. Install the sway bar end links. Go ahead and measure from the ground to the top of the fender and then adjust the ride height to your preference. You can adjust the ride height by turning the threads clockwise or counterclockwise with a wrench. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment below, and you can follow me on Instagram for updates on videos.